Hi guys, welcome to Hoops Junction. This is Vlad here, and today we're talking about super teams and are the Golden State Warriors the villains in the NBA now? A lot of people are disgruntled about Kevin Durant going to the going to the Golden State Warriors. They were saying that he took the easy way out, and you know, I could definitely understand. I could relate to it because I didn't like it when LeBron went to the Miami Heat and teamed up. I hate all that teaming up crap. Because honestly, they can't really say one's legacy can't be tied away from another. Like for example, Kobe and Shaq, they won 3 championships together, but Kobe could always say, "I won 2 without you." Shaq could always say, "Hey, I went to Miami and won without you." So it wasn't like it's like competition. It's like competitive nature amongst peers, and it's not like I had to come together. So I understand that argument, but Adam Silver recently came out and said that he believes that super teams are bad for the NBA. And my thoughts to Adam Silver are this. First of all, you should not be talking. You vetoed a trade that would have brought Chris Paul to LA to play with Kobe and Dwight Howard. But then it was okay for free agency for LeBron James to play with the Heat, and you never cited competitive balance. Like it wasn't Adam Silver. I think it was the other commissioner prior to him. His name escapes me. They cited, but Adam Silver worked underneath them. They cited competitive balance. Okay, you don't let Chris Paul. You veto the trade, stop Chris Paul from going to LA, but you don't veto the signing for LeBron James to go to Miami with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, even after the fact that they admitted that they called each other during the summer and they planned this. So not only competitive balance went out the window, in addition to that, there was collusion, blatant collusion, and there was no penalty for it or anything. They always said that Miami would pay some kind of fine. They never did. Never did. So for Adam Silver to make buku bucks off of Miami, I mean, everybody bought LeBron James jerseys, the Chris Bosh jerseys. They bought a ton of Miami Heat memorabilia. The Miami Heat tickets were like some of the most expensive in the NBA. All of their games were just must-watch games. Even if you didn't like Miami, you just had to watch them. You just wanted to see somebody beat them, or you wanted to see what they were going to do. They had that crazy run, and I think it was, shoot, what year was that? 2013. They won 33 games in a row, and they were 30 games, whatever. They went on a mean run. It was crazy. Like, the Heatles, the NBA capitalized off of it. Think about this. The Boston Celtics, KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. NBA capitalized off of that. Then you move on to, which is like an old super team. Then you go to the Miami Heat. NBA capitalized off it. Ratings through the roof. I mean, every time LeBron James was in the NBA Finals with the Miami Heat, it was just like everybody had to watch it. It was like a showstopper. Everybody loved it. And now you have KD on the Warriors, another quote-unquote super team. So for Adam Silver to say it's bad for business and bad for the game of basketball, I think it's BS. I think it's bad for purists. You know, like at times I feel like I'm a purist. Like I don't want to see that crap. But at the end of the day, you either want to. It becomes so polarizing. You either want to see them get their butts whooped or you want to see them win. There's no middle ground. So you have to watch. You have to watch. And the NBA, statistically and historically, all the teams that have like great players, it's must-watch TV. Everybody loves it. Everybody can't get over it. They're just fawning over it. Like, for example, I didn't even like the Miami Heat, but I think every single game that they played against good teams, bad teams, whatever. I watched every single game. Same thing with the Celtics. I'm not even a Celtics fan. I'm a Lakers fan. I watched every game that they played. You know what I'm saying? When the Lakers had Karl Malone, Gary Payton, I watched most of those games, if not all of them. So it's not bad for business. It's just something that he says, so he could like appeal to the purists and cater and pander to the fans that don't like the idea. But if all the fans were for it, Adam Silver will pretty much say, yeah, I love this. I love super teams. They're good for NBA, good for revenue. But he's not gonna do that. You know why? Because he's just trying to cater to the fans that are upset. Because most people were upset about it. But next season, this season coming up, a lot of people are going to be excited because after all the disappointment, they're going to see what takes place on the court. And in terms of the Golden State Warriors being villains, My thing is this. Why? The Golden State Warriors, what did they do? They cleared cap space. They got rid of Bogut, Harrison Barnes. So there goes your competitive balance. It's not like they got Kevin Durant and then they kept Bogut and Barnes and Spades. They gave up a lot of players to get them, like Stephen Curry said. Number one. Number two, only thing you could be upset about is Kevin Durant's decision. Like, why did he go there? You can't be upset with the team, the Warriors, because not only did they win a championship 2 years ago, they went 73 and 9 this past season. A record. You got to win. This last season was one of the best NBA seasons of all time. You got to see the Cleveland Cavaliers play well. You got to see the Warriors go 73 and 9. You got to see Kobe play his last game. Tim Duncan retired after the season. You got to see the Spurs play like crazy. You got to see the Warriors finally play the Oklahoma City Thunder. It was like a fairy tale. Even like the ending, which I didn't really enjoy because there was like collusion and snitching, and the NBA definitely had their hand in the pot in choosing the champion this past season. Even like for Cleveland fans, they got the storybook ending. Like they were down 3-1 and they came back, won 3 straight games. Same thing with the Warriors. They were down 3-1 to OKC, won 3 straight games. So we got to see so many great things from the Warriors alone. Stephen Curry, back-to-back MVPs. Why would anybody consider them a villain? They just lost NBA championship. They were retooling so they could F somebody up next season. That's all it is. That's what teams do. When teams lose championships, they retool, try to get a little bit better. Kevin Durant's on the market. Why wouldn't you go after Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant says it's a basketball decision. Why wouldn't you sign with the Warriors if that's the best basketball decision? The Warriors play like the Spurs, but wait a minute. They have a back-to-back MVP. They have ball movement like the Spurs. And I'm a small forward, and I could fit in the system just fine. Why wouldn't he go there? Why wouldn't they go after him? Why wouldn't they get rid of Mo Spates, et cetera, et cetera? Everything that happened over this past, and that's still happening on the offseason with Kevin Durant and the Warriors is logical. It's all logical. Only thing that's illogical is the emotion behind it. Like us being upset about it. That's just your personal preference. But if you're like, let's say you run a business and you could partner with another huge business and make a lot more money, you're not going to say, oh, you know, you were my competition, so I don't want to deal with you anymore. No, you're going to sign them. You're going to sign a deal so you can make more money and bring in more revenue. That's what the Warriors did. They signed a deal, and that's what Durant did. Signed a deal with the enemy, quote unquote, and now he's set himself up to be in multiple NBA finals. Just like LeBron set himself up to be in multiple NBA finals. It's not an accident with how LeBron did his career, especially with Miami. And then think about this. He goes back to Cleveland. They make sure that Kyrie Irving signs that major deal. But that had nothing to do with LeBron. But they have LeBron, they have Kyrie. They get rid of Wiggins and get Kevin Love. So there's no accident. There's no accident, ladies and gentlemen. It's just business. And you can't consider these guys villains. They don't play that role. They just play basketball. The worst person on their team is Draymond Green, and he just recently got arrested for assault or whatever in a bar. But somebody was heckling him. He just slapped the guy. You know what I'm saying? It kind of reminds me of Cameron when he was trying to get out of his contract. He went in the building, the A&R, and he started smacking up a bunch of people or whatever. I mean, he got arrested for assault, but that's the worst guy on their team, Draymond Green. Everybody else is like beloved, like KD's beloved. Besides this past season, he's been having like a little attitude, but KD's beloved. Klay Thompson beloved. Stephen Curry, what's not to like about them? Besides, you feel like it's a super team. That's it. There's nothing else not to like. I don't think they're gonna play any villain role. I think they're actually gonna have a lot more fans than what people are actually admitting, because we got a treat last year to see that great basketball. We saw awesome basketball. I mean, all across the board, I think basketball was pretty good. Even the Trailblazers, when they were playing the Warriors, everything was good. It was good ball. Up until the finals. The finals, we got robbed. I'm not going to front on you guys. The finals were not good. We got a Game 7, but everything that led up to the game, all the games were bad, but besides the Game 7. And that's sad. That's sad. But in terms overall, we got great basketball, and primarily the reason we got great basketball is because of the Warriors. So why would we consider them villains? It's not like, you know, they're mushing people or talking smack or whatever the case. They just relaxing, and now they got KD. They got somebody that could fit in the key piece, somebody that could score when they're doubling and holding Thompson and holding Curry, because you're not going to be able to hold them anymore. So all that's done. All that holding and everything Cleveland was doing and all getting away. Now you got another guy that can actually get to the basket and get free throws. So that's going to be crazy. And can spread the floor. So that's nuts. That's nuts. But they're not the villains. They're not the villains. If anything, I'm going to tell you who the villains are. The media. The media, and I'll say some of the fans are villains, because it's just weird how, like, Miami Heat were beloved and LeBron did the same thing. Kevin Durant is essentially, he's following LeBron's blueprint. Nobody can say anything otherwise. He's following LeBron's blueprint, besides going to a team that's, you know, better. But it's the same thing. He's teaming up, just like LeBron did. He looks up to LeBron. All the young guys look up to LeBron. So he did that. Who are we villainizing? We villainized LeBron for a little while, and then when he won, it was all peaches and cream. So at the end of the day, it's gonna be the same thing with Durant. We're gonna try to villainize them, but if they win, or should I say when they win, whatever the case is, if they win a championship, all is gonna be forgotten, and we're gonna be all set. But Adam Silver, he needs to cut it out with those super team comments, and we just need to give it up, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new trend for the NBA. Guys want to play with each other, and don't be surprised if you see some of your favorite stars getting together. Don't be upset, because it was all the floodgates were open back in 2009, 2010. So that's it, man. Let it go. Nobody's a villain here. The only people that are villains are the people that play crappy basketball. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, and subscribe.